The Australian dollar has dropped recently. In the first half, it really didn't impact our performance. But the real issue is the WA permit delays in getting those permits to be able to move to new parts of the mine site. And that has had quite an impact because since April, we've had to use lower quality bauxite, which has meant higher costs of production and lower output in total tonnes. And that's been the main driver of our lower performance as we work through the approvals process with various regulators in Western Australia.
Okay, because I would imagine, because of the thing that I just mentioned in terms of the Aussie dollar, that obviously serves as a tailwind heading into the next half. But is there any concern in your mind, considering that the timing is as such that what we're seeing over there in China could be a little bit precipitous, not just for, yourselves over at Alumina and for Alcoa and the like in terms of, the demand profile, but just pretty much for everyone in the commodity game?
Well, certainly the falling Australian dollar will help us because quite a few of our input costs in Australia are clearly paid in Aussie dollars. But your point is a good one. In the context of China slowing down, particularly in the construction area, which is impacting a range of commodities, including aluminium. So the demand profile for aluminium in China is not as high as it used to be. Having said that, that market is growing at 4 to 5% per annum. And it's a large market. So I think probably people are probably more concerned than they should be because of the sheer size of the Chinese market, and being to a degree a planned economy, they can make adjustments far more quickly than the rest of the world can. What is also dragging down prices globally for the end product, aluminium, and our product, alumina, does in some respects correlate the aluminium price, is the slowdown in Europe, where demand has fallen quite significantly for just about any commodities used in construction and other sectors that drive economic performance. And similarly, there appears to be a slowdown in the US, which means that the aluminium price is floating around 2,100, where I'm sure most aluminium producers would like it around 2,300 and higher.
Right. Do you see a demand in Europe and in China coming back anytime soon, or for the foreseeable future? And for how many quarters, from a timeline perspective, do you think demand will be a challenge there?
I think for the rest of this year, it will be challenging in Europe. And then it depends on energy prices stabilising, and that there has been some stability and dropping in energy prices, and we'll have to see whether that continues, really impacted by the conflict coming out of the Ukraine and Russia. If that settles, then you would see energy prices, if not normalise, significantly drop again. So that will drive economic performance. And it's very hard to call that. It's not purely driven by economic factors when will energy prices subside. So I would have thought the rest of this year will be difficult, possibly into mid-2025. And some degree there's a speculation in that we would see an improvement in economic demand coming out of Europe, which would enhance demand coming for our products such as alumina and aluminium. In the US, I think the slowdown hasn't been as deep, and it probably won't be as protracted, and certain parts of the US economy are doing quite strongly. So we would expect that economy geographically to come back sooner than others.